Hey everyone, for the next couple weeks, we're going to focus on preparing the body for another inversion called shoulder stand. And it's important to prepare the shoulders and have some body awareness to feel ready to go upside down. So we'll focus on that today, building the foundational skill set to be ready to explore a more traditional version of shoulder stand in the weeks following. So today really is just about prepping the shoulders. We won't really be getting into that traditional variation of shoulder stand, but more building the foundation and skill set, the knowledge and awareness to have a safe, healthy shoulder stand practice. So we'll come to our mat and we'll set up in just a constructive rest pose. So lay down on your back, bend your knees, plant your feet, widen your feet to the outer edges of the mat and let your knees knock in. And from here, see if you can draw your shoulders down your back. Slightly tilt your chin into your chest. And just notice how your shoulders and your spine feel right now. Deep breath in. Nice long breath out. 2 more breaths here. From here, let's extend the arms out wide and just allow your knees to sway side to side. Let your knees rock right and left. And I recommend seeing if you can keep the feet wide. Instead of bringing your feet together, let your knees be wide so you get a little bit deeper of a stretch in the psoas muscle and the hip flexors and the low back, that whole pelvis complex. Right and left, one more time. Okay. And let's bring the feet back to the mat and heel toe those feet so they're about hip width distance apart. And then extend your arms down towards your feet, palms face the floor. Again, you're getting nice and long through the neck. Press down into your feet, lift your hips up towards the ceiling. See if you can stay planted through your whole foot instead of rolling to the outer edges of the feet or curling your toes up. Stay rooted through your whole foot. All you're going to do here is bend your elbows, fingertips kind of pointing up towards the ceiling, and just holding the outer hips. Okay, so essentially, this is the shape that your elbows are in, that your upper body's in when you come into shoulder stand. Let's take a nice deep breath in here. Nice long breath out. Bella's giving me kisses. Thank you, Bella. And then exhale, come all the way back down. Deep breath in, deep breath out. So I just want you to remember that hand position. Let's try it again. Inhale, press into the feet, lift the hips up. Hands are just resting alongside the outer waist. Fingertips are kind of pointing up towards the ceiling. Okay, so the foundation in shoulder stand is the triceps and the tops of the shoulders, the back of the head. The majority of the body weight should be in your hands. All right, let's take the hands down towards the floor, interlace the fingers to the webbing if you can. You can also just grip the outer edges of your mat and give a little pull. Either way, try to straighten out through your elbows. Deep breath in here. Legs should be kind of burning on fire. That's okay. It's a good thing. And then exhale, relax back to the mat. Let's hug the knees into the chest. Rock a little bit side to side. And then begin to rock forward and backward on your mat a few times. This is a nice little assessment. As you rock back, see if you can roll all that body weight to the shoulders and the feet kind of reach overhead. Nice little assessment to see how that feels, rocking forward and backward twice more. Also a nice little spinal tissue massage. Let's rock forward, come up into your hands and your knees. Hands and knees, find that tabletop shape. We're going to do a few scapular push-ups. I'm just going to let Bella out. Get into that tabletop shape. Wrists underneath shoulders. Knees underneath hips. I'm still here. All right, tabletop. Okay. See if we can find those scapular push-ups. So pressing down into the hands, I want you to feel this sensation like shoulders are spreading away from the spine and your upper back is rounding. Try to keep the back of the neck nice and long so the head's not drooping down towards the floor, but it's also not arching up towards the ceiling, but nice and long through the back of the neck. Then let the shoulders depress in towards the spine, chest moves towards the mat. And all you're going to do is isolate the upper back movement, right? So pressing the floor away Spread the shoulders, and then exhale, shoulders come in towards the spine. Try that twice more. Inhale. Exhale. Try that one more time. You're just isolating the movement of the shoulders, not cat-cow. This is called a scapular push-up. We're going to try a few different variations today. All right. Let's walk the hands forward, one whole hand print. Give me that nice, good grip into the mat with the fingertips, whole palm pressing down, tuck the toes, lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Relax your head between your biceps. Bend your knees right and left. Take a couple breaths here. Downward facing dog. One more breath. Tippy toe your way forward to the top of the mat. Wind up in a forward fold. And let's take a wider stance with the feet today. So about outer width hip width distance apart. Bend your knees right and left. You can grab onto opposite elbows if you like. Let your upper body sway side to side. Again, just stretching out through that whole back body. Noticing how the shoulders and the neck feels, the whole spine. Inhale, fingertips to shins, lengthen the heart forward, get nice and long through the spine, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, uncurl the spine, head coming up very last. Keep breathing in, reach the arms all the way up and overhead. Exhale, pull those elbows wide. Then stretch those arms back behind you. Bring your feet close together, bend your knees, sink your hips. Give me a nice, easy Utkatasana. And then if you can, interlace the fingers to the webbing behind the low back and extend the arms out long. Now you can also just take a hold of a blanket or a yoga belt or a strap here and pull it apart so that you don't have to find that interlace. Either way, straighten out through those arms. Give me a little bit more of a bend in the knees, and then start to drape your belly forward over your thighs. Relax your head. Let it hang heavy towards the floor. Anytime our arms are stretching back behind us, we're kind of prepping the body for that shoulder stand position. Let's release the arms, fingertips forward. Plant the hands, step back. Downward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Nice long breath out. Inhale, shift forward, high plank. Set your knees to the mat. Interlace your fingers to the webbing. Elbows down to the mat. And then interlace your fingers to the webbing. So you're setting up for this forearm plank. Now lift the knees up and back. Forearm plank. Remember that scapular push-up. So we're pressing the floor away, rounding the upper back towards the ceiling. And then we're letting the chest depress towards the floor, scapula moving in towards the spine. Try that twice more. Press the floor away. You're really trying to isolate that movement in the upper back. You can absolutely set the knees down here. So if you want a little bit more core action, knees lifted. If you really, really, really just want to focus on that scapular movement, knees to the floor. Okay, one more time. If the knees are still lifted, bring them back to the mat. And then let's walk back up to the hands, tabletop. Walk your hands forward. Lift the knees, downward facing dog. All right, so in your downward facing dog, walk your feet forward, one whole hand print. Take a wide stance with your feet so the pinky toes are towards the outer edges of the mat. Slide your wrists back just about an inch or so. So you have a wide, short downward facing dog. From here, stay rooted through your left hand. Reach your right hand to your outer left ankle. Right hand to outer left ankle. And then just give a little pull. Bend that right elbow. Maybe look underneath that left armpit. So it's kind of like you're somewhere in between downward facing dog and a forward fold, but you're adding a twist here. Try to pull your hips back evenly. Keep pressing down through that left hand. Relax your head. Deep breath in. Exhale, replace the right hand. Right hand stays rooted. Extend your left arm over towards your outer right ankle. Left hand towards outer right ankle. Bend your left elbow, pull with that left bicep. You might even look underneath that right armpit. Pull both hips back evenly in space. Keep pressing down strongly through that right hand. Stay active through the right hand. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. And then release that left hand. Walk yourself back out to that more normal version of your downward facing dog. Inhale here. Exhale here. Inhale, extend your right leg up and back. Exhale, right foot forward between the hands. Spin your left foot flat. Rise up to warrior two. So your right foot is forward. Your left foot is back. Warrior two. Extend the arms out long. Settle into this a little bit deeper with the legs if you can. Maybe bounce a couple of times. Make sure you're staying grounded through your left foot. So legs are active, feet are rooted. Left hand, bring that forearm to the low back. Left forearm to the low back. And then take your right hand, interlace your fingers with your left hand. So you're just holding your hands, okay? And you're snuggling the fist against that right hip. And you're just pulling a little bit, so you kind of have this little chicken wing with your right arm pointing forward towards your right toes. You're just kind of pulling that left fist as far as you can into your right hip crease. Deep breath in here. Nice long breath out. See if you can keep your left hand where it is. Extend your right arm out long. And let's reach forward and down. Fingertips right on the inside of your right foot. Turn your left chest more up towards the ceiling. Maybe look up more towards the ceiling. And coming into side angle with this little bind. Deep breath in. Nice long breath out. Straighten out through that right leg. Find triangle legs. Maybe keep the bind here. Maybe look down at your right foot. Take one more breath in here. And then slowly unravel that left arm, extend it up towards the ceiling. And then I just want you to sweep that left arm all the way overhead until you're rounding your spine forward and down towards the top of the mat. Left hand plants, right hand plants, left heel bone spins up, bend your right knee, you're in a low lunge. Okay, so just come into a low lunge. Step back, high plank. Lift your hips, downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Nice long breath out. Second side, inhale, left leg up and back. Exhale, left foot forward. Spin your right foot flat. Warrior two. Settle into your warrior two legs. So see if you can stay committed to feet flat, especially your right leg. It has a tendency to kind of want to curl up, especially that pinky toe edge. See if you can really root down through the pinky toe edge of the right foot. Arms spread wide, maybe bounce a couple of times into the hips. See if you can deepen your lunge. Bring your right forearm to your low back, right forearm to your low back, and then catch a hold of your right hand with your left hand. You're just interlacing your fingers to the webbing. You're making a little fist here. Snuggle that fist up against your left hip crease and kind of pull. Don't over effort the pull, but just feel a little stretch along that right shoulder. All right, one more breath here. See if you can keep your right forearm where it is. Extend your left arm forward and then down. Fingertips plant inside of that left foot if you can. Turn your right shoulder towards the ceiling. Maybe you turn your gaze up. Keep that bend in your left knee. And then slowly press that left leg straight. So triangle legs, left leg straight. One more breath here. Keep the bind if you can. And then inhaling, extend that right arm up towards the ceiling. Find that triangle pose. And then reach, right arm all the way overhead, round the spine. Keep rounding the spine. Hand all the way forward. Plant that right palm. Plant the left palm. Lift your right heel. Low lunge. Step back, high plank. High plank, set your knees to the mat. Come down onto your elbows. Interlace the fingers to the webbing. Maybe lift the knees up, forearm plank. 3 times. You've got those scapular push-ups. So depress the chest down towards the floor and then press the floor away around the upper back. 2 more times. Make sure you're breathing here. If you can't breathe with the knees lifted, set the knees down and focus on that breath and that shoulder movement. Okay, and then set the knees down if you have not done so yet. Walk back up to your hands. Just find tabletop. And then shift the hips back to the heels. Find child's pose. Now, in this variation of child's pose, take your arms back towards your feet. Take your arms back towards your feet. See if you can get a little bit wider with your knees. And either see if you can just cup the hands around the heel bones and pull a little bit, or find that interlace of the fingers to the webbing and maybe stretch the knuckles up towards the ceiling. So only do what you can do within reason. Find your breath. If you've got the interlace of the hands, release it. Everyone walk your hands forward, press up tabletop. And we're going to return to our back body the same way we started our practice. A few rounds of active bridge pose, and then we'll have our shoulder stand practice. And again, it's not going to be that traditional variation of shoulder stand. We're going to have a modified version of this. I'm going to give you a couple different options. So first, bend your knees, plant your feet. You're laying down on your back in the center of your mat. Feet about hip width distance apart. Arms alongside the body, palms face the floor. Press down into your feet, lift the hips up. See if you can walk your shoulder blades closer into your spine here. Get a little bit more on the top of the shoulder heads and the tricep. And then see about placing the hands alongside the hips, fingertips towards the ceiling. And just hold here and breathe. So you did this at the beginning of class. Notice if it feels any different. If you have any more awareness in the shoulders, remember this position in the arms. This is what the arms are essentially doing in a shoulder stand practice. All right, and then release, hips down, arms relaxed, widen the feet, sway the knees side to side. Big breath in, big breath out. Okay, so now I want you to watch this first, because we're not going to come into a vertical position with the spine. We're not going to try and stack the feet, the knees, the hips over the shoulders. This is going to be a more gentle approach to our shoulder stand. Even if you know how to do that and you feel safe, please just take it slow with me and watch this first round. So I'm just going to kind of extend my feet up towards the ceiling. My palms are going to face the floor. And I'm just going to kind of roll my hips up, bend my elbows, and then I'm placing my hands to the back of my pelvis. My fingertips are pointing towards the ceiling. They're not pointing in. They're pointing towards the ceiling. I'm making this little shelf with my hands. And then I'm bringing my feet up towards the ceiling. And I'm just going to let my feet kind of rest on top of my hips and my elbows. So again, I'm not trying to press my belly forward. I'm not trying to stack my hips on top of my shoulders. Yes, this is quite demanding for the hands, and that is okay. Okay. So that's what we're going to try together as our next step. All right. So when you're coming into this shape, again, I want you to keep most of the body weight in the hands and the elbows and the triceps. We're trying to keep the body weight out of the head and the neck. It's just a little bit gentler approach. So hands, palms down, feet come up. You start to just roll a little bit of body weight onto the shoulders. Hands come to the low back. And then feet extend towards the ceiling. And we're just trying to stack those feet on top of the elbows. Okay, so the hips are not trying to press forward. I don't have a lot of body weight in my head and my neck. You can see and hear that I can still talk, right? So I'm not overly compressing the throat. I'm not overly demanding that my hips stack on top of my shoulders just yet. Now to come out of this, feet forward overhead, hands, palms down, and then you just gently roll out. Okay, so that's one variation of a nice gentle entry. And when I say gentle, I mean gentle for the neck because it's still pretty demanding on the body. Now I want to give you one more option with some props. So if you have a chair close by, you're going to utilize it. If you have something like a yoga block or a bolster or a couch cushion, grab that. Something that's going to allow the hips to be elevated. Again, watch this first round and then you'll have a practice of it yourself. All right. So with that chair, that couch, whatever it is you're using, you're swinging your legs up and over it. And then bring your feet to that prop, press down, lift your hips up, and then slide whatever prop you've grabbed, so block, bolster, couch cushion, that goes right underneath the pelvis, just like you would in a supported bridge pose. Let your pelvis rest there, and then feet can extend up towards the ceiling. Okay, now another way to come into this gently is feet press down, lift hips up. So basically you took your supported bridge pose and you elevated your feet, right? So now I'm shifting a little bit more body weight into my shoulders. You could practice placing the hands there underneath your low back. Fingertips, again, they're pointing towards the backs of the knees and they're not pointing towards each other. So that's another way to practice that. Coming back down to the hips. Now, if you haven't tried that yet, if you were just watching that first round, great. Gather your props if you haven't done so yet. Swing your feet up against that prop, your chair, your couch. Press down into your feet. Lift your hips up. Slide the prop underneath the base of the pelvis. And then see if you can extend your feet up towards the ceiling. Now from there, feel free to stay or bend your knees, bring your feet back down to your couch or your chair. Press down into the feet, lift the hips up, and you'll see that that's going to shift the body weight more into the shoulders. Then you could try placing your hands, but I don't want your feet to leave the couch just yet, whatever your feet are resting on. If you're taking this variation, take at least 2 breaths where you are if you can. And so if you're in that variation where your hips are lifted, but your feet are pressing down into your couch or your chair, set your hips back down to that prop that's underneath the pelvis. And then just let your legs relax. Deep breath in here. Nice long breath out. Now we're going to come into a supported fish pose just to go the opposite direction with the shoulders, a little bit of a release for the upper back. And so you can come away from the chair and whatever prop you're going to use, it could be that couch cushion, that block, that bolster, that's going to go underneath the upper back. So I'll show you with a block. Upper back, shoulder blades. It can go lengthwise, especially if you have a block. It can go lengthwise or it can be right between the shoulder blades, the skinny way or the long way. Your choice. But that's the target area, right? Okay. So whatever prop you're using, upper back, drape it over that prop. And then if you can let your throat open towards the ceiling, back of the head, resting down towards the mat. If that is just way too uncomfortable on the neck and the shoulders, slide a pillow or blanket underneath the back of the head so the neck is just a little bit more supported here. Spread your arms out wide, palms face the ceiling. Legs can stretch out long. Deep breath in. Long, smooth breath out. We'll spend about 5 more breaths here. One more breath in. Long breath out. I want you to very carefully make your way off of your prop. So you might bend the knees, roll off to a side, and come into a fetal position for a moment. Move that prop out of the way. And then return to laying on your back. Place that right ankle on top of the left thigh, figure 4. And keep your left foot grounded. So right ankle to the left thigh, figure 4. Rock your figure 4 side to side. You're rolling to the inner and outer edge of your left foot. And then we're going to turn our figure 4 into a twist. So the next time you roll off to the left hip, keep going until the outer edge of the left leg comes to the mat. Sole of the right foot plants. You can plant it on a prop if the floor feels pretty far away. And then options with the arms. You can stretch your right arm all the way up and overhead. You can take your left hand down and hold the right ankle. Three deep breaths. Nice and slow, start to unwind out of your twist. Unwind out of your figure 4. Second side, left ankle to the right thigh. Left ankle to the right thigh. And then rock that figure 4 side to side. So your right foot staying on the ground and you're rolling to the inner and outer edge of your right foot. Rocking this figure 4 side to side. Next time you roll off to your right hip, keep going until the outer edge of your right leg comes all the way down to the mat and the sole of the left foot plants. And let your left foot plant on something solid. So you can slide a block underneath that left foot or a blanket, especially if the floor feels far away. Options with the arms again. Right hand can reach down and hold that left ankle. Left arm can stretch up and overhead. These are just our options. So try not to contort yourself to make it happen, but rather just let it be something that if it happens, great, take it. If it does not, forget it. Let yourself breathe deep into your belly, in and out through your nose. Last 2 breaths here. Slowly unwind with the legs. Let go of your figure 4. If there's any other movement or shape you want to make before your final rest, feel free to take that. Otherwise, stretch out on your back. Relax your shoulders away from your ears. Slightly tilt your chin into your chest. Try to take at least 1 minute for your Shavasana here with me if you can. Let your eyes close down. Nice deep breath in through your nose. Open your mouth, exhale. Imagine letting it all go, letting it all rest. Shavasana. Feel free to stay longer in your resting pose if you have the time. Otherwise, gentle movement of fingertips and toes. Move your head side to side. Nice big breath in, stretch your arms overhead. You can close your practice here in your back if you wish, or you can bend the knees, roll off to a side. Press your way up to a seated position. Let your seated position be comfortable and supported if that's what you're choosing to take. And we'll set up to take 2 rounds of breath. 4 counts to inhale, 6 counts to exhale. I'll count it out for us. Empty all the air out of the lungs. Beginning, breathe in 1, 2, 3, 4. Out 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In 1, 2, 3, 4. Out 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Allow your breath to return to normal. To close your practice, bring your hands together at your heart, bow your chin into your chest. Take a moment to offer reverence and gratitude for your practice, to all of our teachers, past, present, future, to the teacher within your own heart. Namaste, yogis.